Okay, here we are at the geography map. Geographers study a lot of things, but in this case, they're going to study elevation. Their whiteboard is mostly gone, but it says, what do the colors mean? Where are the high places? Where are the low places? So we're going to be looking at the colors here. Let's look up at the scale. Up here on your scale, things that are in white are going to be really high up. That's 8,000 feet above sea level and higher. And then sea level's right there at the zero, and on the blue. Okay, so that's the green and blue where you see the dark greens and the blues. So let's look at a continent here. So places like down here in the coastal area of the United States, those are going to be dark green. Those are really close to the sea level. And then just under sea level is going to be this light blue color, which you can see is like the continental shelf that kind of shapes the outline of all of the major continents. You can see more of it down here. Okay, that's those things. And then as you get deeper in the ocean, you're going to get into the darker blues and then into this pink color. So let's take a look at what that looks like. So here we've got some deep ocean. Over here we've got some deep ocean. Okay, there's some lighter colors here we're going to come back to in a minute. And then if you want to see some light pink, these are the really, really deep places. Places like trenches, like that one specifically is a trench. So let's look at the places that are high up on the surface. High up on the surface, the most prominent one that sticks out is right here in the Tibetan Plateau. This is the Himalayas. Okay, the Himalayan mountain range, the highest place on the planet Earth. That's where Mount Rushmore is. Boy, I'm a liar. That's where Mount Everest is. If you want to know where Mount Rushmore is, it's like a little to the east of this line here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's also not very tall. It has president's faces. Mount Everest, no president faces. Okay, so let's get back to it, while we're over here, the Rockies are kind of tall, right? And there's some tall mountains here in Alaska as well. Let's come down and let's go to South America, where the next tallest mountain range is after the Himalayas. We've got the Andes. They're also in white, so they're pretty tall. Okay, there's a couple of other tall places, but those are good enough for now. When we're looking at low places in the ocean, right, because the lowest places should be below sea level, so that's going to be in the ocean, we're looking for these trenches. This is the Mariana Trench, the deepest place in the ocean. Okay, think about the tallest thing you know. If you flip it upside down and you put it down under the water, it doesn't get to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's super deep down there anyway. We've got another trench right here along the coast of Indonesia. And if you guys are thinking about your earthquake or volcano map, you might recognize this arc right here as a place that has lots of both of those things. Let's see, where else is there a trench? Right here in South America, we've got the Andes, and then right off the coast, there's a trench. Okay, there's another trench up here in Alaska. This is the Aleutian Island chain, the Aleutian Islands. There's a trench there. This is also where there's a big line of volcanoes, and there's also a big path of earthquakes, similarly down here in South America. So those things are all related. Okay, the last thing I want to point out is tracing a line right through the middle of our ocean floor, just like on the earthquake map, just like on the Young seafloor map, is this elevated section that's showing, it's a little bit lighter blue, it's showing a underwater mountain range. This is known as the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, or a mid-ocean ridge, because there's another one on the Pacific side as well, and there's one that curls down into the Indian Ocean. Okay, these ridges are a result of adding new crust, which is what happens on the geochron map. So that process is related to earthquakes, to volcanoes, to elevation, and to brand new seafloor. So tying it in is going to be what comes next.